Hi there, everyone. I'm the Nature Guy, and it's been a few weeks since our last episode. A couple of weeks ago, I was leading a tour in Yellowstone National Park and also a little south of that in Grand Tetons National Park. And boy, do I have some stories to tell you. Today, I want to talk about grizzly bears. Because you see, we found on our first day in the tour, we found a carcass of a bison, and talking to others that were there, they said it's been there for about 5 days. The wolves have been coming and the grizzlies have been coming, and so this was the afternoon when we found it, and we knew that the best time to see the grizzly was going to be in the morning. So the next morning we got up really early before daylight, drove an hour and a half down to the Hayden Valley in Yellowstone National Park, and sure enough, there it was. There are about 1,000 grizzlies in greater Yellowstone area, and we saw one of them. The remains of the carcass that we saw the day before is gone. Here's the bear just digging around for any scraps, or even beetles that may have been attracted by the carcass. You can tell a grizzly from a black bear by the hump on its shoulder and the slightly upturned snout. The other big difference is that grizzlies have longer claws that don't retract like a cat. So they're not sharp enough to climb trees like black bears do, because black bears' claws do retract. Grizzly bears are big, standing up to 8 feet tall on their hind legs and weighing over 600 pounds. These bears are the largest predator in the park. And in the correct lighting, you can see the silvery golden sheen to its coat, especially over its back and sides, and that gives the bear its name. But the grizzly doesn't eat all day. When he was finished eating his fill and he moved off, other scavengers take their turn. Gray wolves are quick to move in, showing how Yellowstone's food web is an interconnected web. A single carcass like this one can feed bears, gray wolves, coyotes, ravens, and even beetles. Nothing goes to waste. You can see it was a cold morning. As the bear's walking towards the river, you could see him breathe, you could see his breath, and you could see him sniffing the air. Maybe he was checking to see if we weren't too close. Or maybe he was searching for his next meal. Sometimes wolves try to challenge the bear directly. In this sequence, they trail the grizzly to another potential food source. While wolves rely on teamwork, a single grizzly has the raw power to claim what he wants. These encounters are dramatic reminders of the balance between strength and strategy in the wild. But the bear was no pushover. With a small step in their direction and a roar, he drives the wolves back. The wolf eventually gave up and tried to pick some scraps from the head of a bison. That's all that remained of the poor animal. I have to say, that one wolf was persistent. And he was eventually rewarded with his turn at the table. Finally, after about an hour watching the grizzly, he decided to cross the river. He found just the right spot to swim across. Despite their size, bears are strong swimmers and can easily handle the current. Once on the far bank, the bear lumbered along, majestic, powerful, and always searching for his next meal. Grizzlies remind me that Yellowstone is still a place where wild animals live by their wits and strength, just as they have for centuries. So the grizzly and the wolves have an interesting relationship. The wolves know who's boss. But in the spiritual world, we have a conflict between God and Satan. Satan thinks he's going to win. He's not like the wolves. The wolves know not to get too close, not to mess. But Satan somehow thinks that he's going to win. But when we read the Bible, we realize that we know something Satan doesn't know. And that is that God is going to win, no matter what. That's our lesson for today. See you next time. Goodbye.